Yeah. Yeah.
Hey loves, it's your girl Joeylissette and welcome back to my channel. So for today's tutorial, it's actually a suggestion from my best friend. She sent me this message. Absolutely. I don't believe that you need to spend $100 on foundation to get quality. Anyway, before we even jump into this tutorial, go ahead and comment which side you guys think is the $400 makeup, which side is the $40 makeup. Let me actually test it on my sister. Jennifer, look at this. Which side of my face you think is the expensive makeup side and which side is the drugstore makeup?
You see, look at me. I say expensive drugstore.
That's actually really good. You got it on the first.
That was not supposed to happen.
She got that real quick. Okay, so she's just really good. Let's start off with my Wet n Wild retractable brow pencil in the color taupe, and we're gonna line up these brows. I wonder if you guys can hear that lady. So let's start with the Dior. Before I carve out the brows, let me apply my primer, which I should have in the beginning, I forgot. For the drugstore side, I have the Wet n Wild Impossible Primer Base. For the Sephora, I have Natasha Denona Energizing and Hydrating Primer Serum. I already know which one I'm gonna love because I've been using this for a minute and it is beautiful. When I tell you the skin glows, the skin glows. Out of both of these, oh, not too much. That's a lot. Oh, okay. That's more than I expected. Oh my gosh. That's actually too much. A little goes a long way. Remember that. Not in relationships though. I'm going to take my Natasha Denona. The skin is glowing. Okay, so now we're gonna carve out the brows, which, do you guys like my lash extensions? I finally got them the way I wanted them to. Nice, thick, dramatic. If you guys haven't, please check out the video explaining of the worst lash artist I've ever encountered in my life and how she scammed me. Check it out. So I'm gonna be using the Dior Skin Corrector Concealer and the e.l.f. Now, out of both of these, I feel like I already know which one I'm gonna like. It's gonna be this one. This is my holy grail. This is amazing. So hydrating. It's thick. The coverage is, first up, the Dior. Very light coverage. Not bad. Very natural finish. So this would be like a good vacation concealer. So now for my e.l.f. When I tell you this stuff is thick and the coverage amazing. Going to take the e.l.f. and we're just going to pat it. And let me tell you, this is really important because if you want to have the eyeshadow pop and really show up, then you need to apply a base, which you can use your concealer. This is like a super important tip and not a lot of people still know about it, because even last night when I was at work, people were always like, your eyeshadow looks so nice. How do you get the colors to pop? I get the colors to pop because I put on a base. They didn't even know what that was. They're like, what's that? You put concealer on your eye first? Say yes, it helps it to pop. It's like when you're painting a room and you have to put the white paint, the primer paint on so the colors could pop. That's exactly the same concept. But I get it, you know what I mean? Like, not a lot of people do makeup, and also to a lot of them are nervous to try it because they feel like makeup artists and beauty gurus can be judgmental, which some can. Okay, so now let's get started on the eyeshadow. Look at this. Look how close they look. I feel like I did a fantabulous job. Look at this Dior. Look at the color scheme. Boom. Look at the Wet n Wild. I feel like this is a good dupe. No, it's not a good dupe. It's a great dupe. It's an excellent dupe. You're welcome. Start off with some Wet n Wild. And I'm taking this color first. I'm going in all over the eyelid. Joanna's not home right now. Please do not come back. She's gone for the day. Very pigmented. So one thing I noticed, Wet n Wild is definitely a lot more pigmented. Let me run it again. So also too, the color is a little off. If I could use this like brown color, darken it. So now we need to blend out the harsh line. So for the Wet n Wild, I'm going to use these two colors. 1, 2. And it blends it so beautifully. That is so pretty. That is stunning. So for Dior, I'm going to use these two colors, 1 and 2. Okay. Not bad. Not bad. The palettes look similar, but the depth of the color is different because this is giving me vibrant neon summer and this is giving me fall plum. Both of them are beautiful, just really different. I'm going to take this, mix with a little of this, and we are just going to fill in the bottom. Really get that nice deep smoky eye. That is so freaking pretty. I don't know. I feel like honestly right now, the Wet n Wild palette is winning for me. So I finished filming. Let me take a second. So I finished filming when I filled in the eyes. Also too, I finished filming the foundation. My camera shuts off and it did not save to the memory card. It didn't save to the memory card at all. That footage is gone. Let me walk you through what I did. What I did was I used this color right here and this. I took my brush and I combined them like this. I pat it in just like so, just like that. Foundation, Dior foundation. I used the Forever Skin Glow in 4W. I used Dewy and Smooth Maybelline number 310 Sun Beige. For both, I had to apply 2 layers. And now you're caught up. So with the concealer now, we're gonna start to work on the contouring. Use the e.l.f. Camo Concealer and the Dior. And heat. So I'm gonna use Rare Beauty though from both sides. This stuff, this, I don't care if it's my last, I'm gonna spend it on it. I love the pink under eye look. The girls that get it. And the ones that don't, you never will. Go ahead and blend this down. I'm so sad about that footage. Got some really good jokes in there too. So I'm just going to blend up. So for my setting powder underneath the drugstore eye, I'm going to be using the Wet n Wild Banana Powder. And it is literally only going to be a little bit. On the Sephora side, I'm going to be using Patrick One Size. Here. For the drugstore side, I'm going to be using Juvia's Place and Sephora. I'm using Makeup by Mario. I know Juvia's Place is not found in the drugstore, but when I went to the drugstore that day, I could not find any type of contour. So start off with Juvia's. Put it on my hand to warm it up. I want to keep this as high as possible. Looks good. So Makeup by Mario, same thing. So some of the differences I see, this is definitely more of like a reddish brown. This is more of like a cooler brown. So I'm gonna take some bronzer. This is the Il Makiage bronzer. This is actually my favorite bronzer. And I did not buy a drugstore bronzer. This is amazing. So yeah. There's some things I'm willing to compromise on, and there's stuff I'm not. Number one, Rare Beauty. No, not compromising on that blush. Never. For blush, I have the Fit Me. The one thing I hate with this Dior blush is like literally impossible to open. Maybe it's just mine. Going to take Juvia's Place. These two colors, this is the only reason why I buy this palette. I use it to set underneath my eyes to really melt the blush into my skin. This is amazing. These two, it really does melt it. If you are not melting your blush, now, let's take the powder from Fit Me and let's just apply this all over. Some finishing powder. Take some Charlotte Tilbury and let's do that also. For the lip, I found the perfect dupe. Look at this. It even has the same package. This is Wet n Wild. This is Pat McGrath. What? All I'm doing is copying what I did to the top. Okay, so let's go in here. Same thing on the Dior side. With the drugstore side. I'm using this lip liner I got from Shein. It was like $2. Let's take my Charlotte Tilbury. Add some gloss. Glossy lips makes a look that much better. Last but not least, we need the highlight. For the highlight on the Sephora side, I'm using Dior. On this side, I'll be using the Wet n Wild. So let me go relay my edges and I will be back.